how I went from this over here to this. Okay. Hi guys, it's your girl Offense, and I'm coming at you with cheekbones and high vibrations, and the sun is setting, so I need to get into this real quick. Don't worry, I'm dressed. I'm wearing a boob tube because your girl has lost a little bit of weight, so now she can wear the boob tubes and show her collarbones. Anyways, this is in line with today's particular video. I want to talk to you about my massive weight loss story. I've done this before. It was the first time that I shared it two years ago, and I found that this video is getting a lot of traction. People are really enjoying it, but it was 26 minutes long, so I want to save you this time. I want to put you through all the different stages, and I want to openly share all the resources that I used, all the thought processes that went through it, and all the magic tricks. You'll find out that there are none, in order to share with you how I went from this over here to this. Okay. And during the lockdown, I just need to add, there was another 4 kgs dropped. Okay, so without further ado, this is how I lost 25 kgs. Is it 25? Is it 5 right now? Hold on, let me do the calculation. Oh, it's right over there, y'all. It's right over there. It is 25. First of all, I want you to understand that I was 83 kgs a couple of years ago, and I had gained a lot of weight. In high school, I was already a little bit of the thickums, and then in university, I gained a lot more weight, and I found myself at a whopping 83 kilograms. That really felt horrible for me because I didn't really like being a big girl. I didn't enjoy the rubbing of my thighs. I didn't enjoy feeling like out of breath every time I was walking. I didn't enjoy the attention that I got from men. I didn't enjoy looking older than my age. I say this to say that if you are a big girl and you like being big, kudos, continue on that big, beautiful woman journey. But if you are a big girl and you don't like it, I can relate. I've been there, and I honestly couldn't get to a point where I loved it, you know. My family, where I come from, my mother's not big at all, and there's very few big girls in my family, so it wasn't something that I saw all around me. So I did feel a little bit like an outcast, a little bit. I remember coming back from university after, I think it was the first or the second semester, and people were starting rumors that I was preggers, but I wasn't. No, I didn't even engage in the activity that you needed to engage in order to get preggers. Okay, yeah, I almost hit rock bottom of myself in this journey, and I really just wanted solutions. I wanted to feel like I'm in control of my relationship with food. I felt like I was eating out of control. There was a time when I know I would wake up at 11 p.m. and whip out all the ingredients to bake a chocolate cake, of which I would eat 50% of before I went back to sleep at 1:30, as is with the icing, y'all. So I had a problem. I had problems with going on diets and getting off of them, and yo-yo dieting, and just adding more and more and more weight in the process. I started my journey. The first 7 kgs I lost on Herbalife. I started, that took about 3 months. And so that was the beginning of the journey. I lost 7 kgs on Herbalife. I was doing the shake in the morning, shake in the afternoon. I was working out with my friend in Tidi saying, shout out to you, girl. We were liquidating the bakery. We used to call these rolls here on the side the bakery. So we were liquidating the bakery together, and that was a great start. But I felt that I plateaued and I couldn't lose any more weight, and I kind of stayed in that high 70 zone, oscillating in between there for another year. And then I ran across this very wonderful resource called the Self-Hypnosis Diet. I'm going to insert the book over here. I was at the point where I was Sister Fire, super Christian. See this video over here, and I really felt this was a little bit of an abomination, you know, as a Christian girl thinking about self-hypnosis. But what comforted me was the fact that it was self-hypnosis, or not like somebody else hypnotizing me and then like giving me demons or anything. Like, no, God, I don't believe that anymore. But I'm just contextualizing. I read about it in the Essentials magazine. It was a diet contest. They had chosen 4 different diet books, and 4 different girls had tried the different diets over a month, and this one girl had lost 5 kgs in 1 month on the self-hypnosis diet. So I thought, oh my God, I really have to try this. And the others also lost significant amounts of weight on the Atkins diet and all the other diet books that they had, the other 4 that they had. So I was just like, okay, you know what, let me try the self-hypnosis thing. I bought it undercover. I got myself the book. I started reading, and I finished the book before I started using the CD that comes with it. Back in the day, the CD was king, okay? The first thing that I picked up and I learned from this particular book was that weight loss begins in your mind. Weight loss has nothing to do with the rest of the other tactics that you try and do, you know, the diets that you try and get into, whatever. It starts here. It starts with your mindset, number 1. And I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction. I'm a firm believer that whatever you pay attention to, you draw to yourself. And what you want to do with this is to allow your subconscious mind to support you. And this is why self-hypnosis has been such a key factor for me. You need to acknowledge, first of all, before you even start the whole journey, what I learned is that you need to acknowledge the pain that you're experiencing, and you need to take responsibility for drawing in that weight to yourself. That's where you start. And I remember the things that made me draw weight to myself and to keep it, and like Lisa Nichols once said, as a sense of protection, was my extreme fear of hunger. I had never been hungry before. In fact, I think the only time I'd experienced a mild form of hunger was during fasting, and that wasn't even extreme because I don't think we did hectic fasts, you know, growing up. And then secondly, I felt like I was deprived of nice things, nice foods when we were younger. My parents were so number 1 because they focused so much on our education and making sure that we get a better future, that we didn't spend frivolous money on, you know, like magnums and whatnot. Like, we didn't really have a lot of that snacking stuff. We had clean, good, practical food at home. And then lastly, 3, I was dealing with anxiety and depression, and food was actually my solace. The anxiety and depression was from the course that I was doing, the studies I was doing, the stress I was experiencing, and all of that. And it was just like really a difficult thing. So yeah, that I tried to journal. I actually did journal. The journaling did help. I hadn't learned meditation at that point, and so food was my meditation. Don't quote me on that. And then number 2, the number 2 overarching lesson that I learned is that you need to love the body that you're in right now. I did not start shedding off a pound, a kg, until I acknowledged that there are good things about this body that I am in right now, because you do good things for things that you love. I had a list of 10 different things that I loved about my body. I spoke about I love the shape of my body. I spoke about how I love my bums, how I love my boobs, how I love even my brain. Like I was, you know, reaching for different parts of my body that are physical, that are practical and tangible, and how much I love them. I wrote a small cue card of them. So I'd say, I love my boobs because they are beautiful and round and big and voluptuous, and they will be a source of nourishment for my children and joy for my husband. Okay, I remember this one very clearly because it was the first And then you do the same for the rest of the body parts that you're in love with. It's so key. And I feel like this was the game changer, because until I internalized all those messages, all the hate that I had for my body kept drawing weight onto it, because I hated it so much. And the law of attraction says what? The more you think it, the more you did it. And then the second thing under the love your body thing is that the first thing was the 10 things I love about my body exercise. It really helped me to feel beautiful and attract the beautiful body and attract my ideal body as well. And then the second thing is because you do good things for things that you love, and you make better decisions for the things that you love. The next steps that you take, you make better decisions. I started making great food decisions and reducing the caloric intake and choosing higher quality foods versus low quality foods, because I loved this body temple that I was in. I loved every single inch of it. I really did. And when my subconscious caught up, because I started the process in around September. When my subconscious caught up in around November, December, I started shedding off the weight, and then I started seeing real results by January. I was like, whoa, this jacket that I had is no longer fitting me. What's happening? I remember that day was so dope. Number 3, you need to set yourself up for success. You need to make good decisions in the grocery store and not as you get to your cupboard. Don't you dare set yourself up for failure. You know, like we all know what's good and what's not good. Like nobody needs to tell us what good food is, what bad food is. Your body tells you when when you've eaten bad food. You get bloated, you feel sick, you get acne. You know, your whole body is just like, leave me with these toxins. Get them out of me. And so, you know, I don't want to moralize food. You know, healthy food, nutritious food, and non-nutritious food as well. At the same time, part 2, do not feel guilty for what it is that you eat. So if you do indulge in a non-nutritious food, that's okay. Guilt only draws you to indulge even more. If you have one slice of cake and you feel guilty about it, you'll find yourself scoffing down 2 more slices, or getting an ice cream, or getting some custard while you're at it. But if you're just like, I just enjoyed 1 slice of cake, that's all it is. So yeah, don't make bad decisions and then attract more. Eat the cake. In other words, what I'm saying is eat the cake, okay? Just obviously you will balance it out. It automatically comes when you love yourself. When you love your body, it automatically comes in. You build it in. A lot of the time we put junk in our foods because the self-love tank is very low. So yours is to increase the self-love tank so that you choose more nutritious foods more often. Sorry about the lighting, y'all. Ooh, the sun is really gone. And then the last thing that I found in the last 4 kgs that I lost during the lockdown, okay, because I was at 83, then I dropped down to 63, and I was kind of hovering between 60 and 63, and at the beginning of lockdown I was 62. Now I'm 58. I'm very happy. I feel like I woke up in my dream body. I am happy. The last step I think that really helped with this final 5 kgs is fasting or intermittent fasting. So you can choose fasting. I find fasting much easier than intermittent fasting. I struggle with intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting, if you don't know, is eating in a particular period of time. So I was on a 16/8 intermittent fast, meaning that I would stop eating at 6 p.m. and then eat again the next day at 10, which means I fasted for 16 hours, and my eating period or eating window would be between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And I really struggled with that because I was just like, I want food. What works better for me is to choose one day in the week where I will totally fast. I'll drink water and herbal teas only the whole day and do a 24-hour liquid fast, I guess I'd say that. Or I would do like a 3-day juice fast if I feel like I really need a boost or a reset, if I feel like my system is really not agreeing with all these things. Intermittent fasting is a great way. It doesn't have to be 16/8. It can also be 24, and you have a 4-hour window. or even 12-12, where you just fast for 12 hours. Other people have reported great results from that. The key over here is to make sure that you have a calorie deficit, meaning that if your body needs 1,800 calories to survive, then you feed it 1,000, including your activity, right? Then you feed it 1,500 or 1,400 on a consistent basis, and you will see the weight melt off. So I was on a 500 calorie deficit every day, well, most days really, because there were some days where it was just not possible, and I found myself overindulging, which is okay. And what I learned was the fact 1 kg of fat is 3,500 calories. So if you're on a 500 calorie deficit and you're very strict about it, you should lose 1 kg of fat per week. Thank me later for that type of information. Intermittent fasting or fasting gives your body a chance to rest and to focus on healing itself and not consistently digesting. It gives you better skin. My skin glows. My skin is happy because because fasting for me. And also it makes it much easier to limit calories if you've only got a short window of time to eat them. You won't overindulge as well. And lastly, it also gives you a huge sense of control, and helps you to eat in the moment and to enjoy your food. That is the 4 overarching tips. I'm going to list them over here for you to be able to lose weight if you're looking to lose a ton of weight. I want to reiterate that it's 95% mindset. So get your mind right. It's 4% food and 1% exercise. Did you see how a sister did not mention the fact that I exercise? Exercise is great, but it's not what you need to lose weight. Okay, exercise is great to build muscle. Look at my arms, y'all. I'm starting to get Michelle Obama. You can't even see, but I'm starting to get Michelle Obama arms over here, only because of exercise. But I still would have probably been 58 kgs without it. Okay, exercise is not essential. It's a great nice to have. What is essential is for you to get your mind right and to get your relationship with food on track. If you found this helpful, let a sister know. I almost said something else. Let a sister know, and do check out the rest of our videos over here. Thank you for watching.